Good evening. Hope everyone is doing really, really well on this Saturday evening in Sacramento, California, and across the country. February the 3rd, 2024. Welcome to another edition to On the Cutting Room Floor, presented by Publicity Agents. I am your host, Tony Harvey, and peace in. Let's talk about how it went down tonight, and it was an exciting game in Chicago, Illinois, at the United Center on the West Side. Okay, woo! But the Kings pulled it off against my Chicago Bulls, if I don't mind saying. But the Kings pulled it off, 123 to 115, which give them their fifth win on a 7-game journey. That's the first time in history they ever did that in franchise history. And they improved to 29 and 19, 15 and 11 on the road. And they are 10 games over 500. 10 games over 500. That is pretty remarkable at this point, considering where they were a couple of weeks ago. They are on a tear, as they say. Okay. But they almost had a scare going on tonight in the United Center against the Chicago Bulls. The Kings were up about 30 points, and they ended up winning 123 to 115. And I'm telling you, the Bulls defense was making it really difficult for them in that third and fourth quarter, because that's where things started to unravel just a little bit. I mean, there was a little back and forth going on in that second half. But that's what you do when you're trying to go from good to great. And tonight, it was a great win for you. I have to give you that, because you did it on the road. And you did not buckle. And you basically hit your free throws when needed. And it has to be done. King shot 83% from the free throw line tonight. So have to give it up to De'Aaron Fox, who had 41 points tonight. I'm going to talk a little bit about his stats tonight. Today is his son's birthday. Happy birthday, baby Rain. He's an Aquarius like me, so, he's in the same pool. Probably got a different gene and stuff like that. I think he's going to be a great basketball player, or whatever he does in that athlete when he get older, between his mom and his dad playing basketball and his family members. I know his grandparents were athletes as well. But anyway, De'Aaron had a magnificent night, and I know that partly had to be because of his son 1-year-old birthday. So once again, happy birthday, Rain. But you get the win. They get the win over the Chicago Bulls, who have been plagued by injuries. Of course, they are out without Zach LaVine, who will be out for the rest of the season, as I understood by listening to Jason Ross and Henry Highfly Turner this afternoon on their radio show, that Zach LaVine will have surgery and that will end his season. And I know he has been saturated in a lot of trade talks as well. The Kings was part of that discussion at some point, or for some time. Basically, his name kept popping up about being connected to the Sacramento Kings. But he won't be playing anymore this season, so he can relax a little bit if wanted to sell his house or anything like that. He's definitely one player that I didn't mind, donning the Sacramento Kings blue and white, purple and black uniforms, to be exact. So get well, brother. I've always liked your game. And since you've been in at UCLA, I know you're a Seattle product, and go ahead and get that done. I think it said he's going to be out for about 4 to 6 months, based on the injury and the timetable that he will recover. So we'll see what happened there. But back to the game, back to basketball. Okay, in Windy City, Chicago. Yes. There's a few places that I could start, but I'm gonna just jump out like this. The Kings were leading 71-52 at the half. 71-52 at the half. Okay, they opened up the third quarter on an 11-2 run. Okay, there was a 3-point basket by Kevin Huerter, another 3 by De'Aaron Fox. Harrison Barnes hit a 3. Then Fox hit another basket. Now they're up 82-52. They're up by 30 points. 30 points. But at some point, okay, the Bulls got it together. They got it together. They went on a 29-9 run to end that quarter down 91-81. So they cut the Kings' lead from 30 to 10 at the end of the third quarter. When at the top of the quarter, as I said, with the Kings just coming out like gangbusters, they put that D on them. That's what they did, okay? And yes, the end of the third quarter, it was on a 29-9 run, all right? And they outscored the Kings 29-20 in that quarter. I think the Kings only had like 5-6 field goals in the third quarter. But then things start to get interesting in the fourth quarter, of course. The Bulls, I can go through all these scenarios and things like that. They came back and they cut the lead by 3 on a basket by DeMar DeRozan. Okay? But from there, all right, the Kings went on to close the game out on a 7-0 run. There was a basket by, a big 3-pointer by HB at the 110 tick. That really helped him out too. But then those free throws, okay? De'Aaron Fox hit 2 free throws, okay? Malik Monk hit 1 or 2 free throws, okay? And then Harrison Barnes sealed the victory with 2 more free throws, 123-115. That was one heck of a game by both teams. I have to give credit to Chicago Bulls, making it really, really interesting. I think the most part of they were having problems. The Bulls, that is, were letting the Kings dominate the paint offensively in the first half. I think they had 34 points in the paint in the first half. The Kings ended the game with 46 points in the paint. And I think some of the adjustment that Billy Donovan, the coach of the Bulls, made really affect what they were doing, the Kings trying to touch that paint. And matter of fact, they inserted Andre Drummond in there, to clog up that lane a little bit. So he made a little bit of a difference too, as far as the Kings staying out that paint. I don't even think he played that much in the first half, but he was definitely a little effective in the second half. I think, Andre Drummond ended up with about 2-3 points and 8 rebounds. But the Kings had the second and third guess, going in there on that paint with him down there in the middle and stuff. But hey, a win is a win, as it is. And I would say the most important thing about, what the Kings did tonight was to close out the game. And they did just that. So they were up by 30. They win by 8. They don't have another game until Monday, February 5th. They will be in Cleveland, and that will conclude the 7-game road trip. If anything, they can come back 6-1 if they beat Cleveland, and they have beat Cleveland this season, or they can come back 5-2. Either way it goes, it has been a successful road trip, meaning the only loss that they have suffered so far is the Miami Heat down there in South Beach. Okay, which a game that they could have had too. But at this point, the way things are happening, everybody's coming together. Okay, it was an all-star team performance last night in Indianapolis when they won that game. Things are coming together with these players. Kevin Huerter, Harrison Barnes, and Davion Mitchell, who have been playing really, really well up until this point, have been really serviceable for the Kings, meaning they have been making a difference. They have had an impact on these games. All right. Davion Mitchell played excellent defense tonight. Okay. He got 4 assists, 4 points, 4 assists. All right. Harrison Barnes, as I said, he made those last 2 buckets at the free throw lines, area that they having problems with. The Kings are shooting 72% from the free throw line this season thus far and stuff. So Harrison, he did his part. He hit a couple free throws last night. He will hit those free throws. Okay, everybody's doing their part, especially those three players who have been struggling, but now they're playing really, really well. And when they do that, the team comes together. They all play well again. They all play well. Oh, yeah. Let me see. That was the microphone dropping a little bit, but we got it back. But yes, yeah, those three players right there have been a big factor and a big part of what the Sacramento Kings have been doing. All right. De'Aaron Fox, 41 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 steals. He had 6 steals last night in the win over Indy in Indianapolis. Okay, so that's 5.5 steals in 2 games right there. 35 minutes. Okay, with 13 for 24 shooting from the field, 5-11 in 3-point territory. 10 for 12 shooting at the free throw line. All of this was done in 41 minutes. In 35 minutes on his son's Rain birthday. So he delivered the victory for his son. I know the Kings are pleased with that because it's been a while since Fox hit that 41-point mark. But he's looking good. Looking good. We know he had been, in a little bit of not really a slump. Some of those stats that he had in some of these games, anybody would love to have, but it was not the De'Aaron Fox type style of repertoire of performance. But he looked good. I mean, I would have to say, with him and Domantas Sabonis, being phased out of the All-Star game this season would have a lot to do with that anyway. If anything happened with any players, on this current roster for the All-Star game that will be played in Indianapolis, they got to consider these two, especially Domantas Sabonis. Malik Monk, 22 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 block in 33 minutes. He was 7 for 14 from the field, 2 for 4 in 3-point territory. He made 6 of 7 free throws. So the only one that he missed was one down in the stretch in the fourth quarter. But it seemed like he's getting it back together. I like to see him hit all of his, that would help them move up the charts as far as shooting percentage at the charity stripe. So let's see what happens. Go up. Let's see what happens. Go from there. Yeah, I'm about to move on to this next player, Domantas Sabonis. Big man recorded the 31st straight double-double. And he did it with a triple-double tonight. That ties Oscar Big O Robertson, as the franchise leader for consecutive double-doubles, 31. So meaning if Domantas get another double-double here Monday, he will have 32. He will be the leader. Okay. Right now, as far as I'm concerned, National Basketball Association-wise, these are Hall of Fame numbers, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Okay. And if he somehow gets snubbed on the first ballot of being in the Hall of Fame, it shouldn't be a Hall of Fame. Okay. This little crazy stuff about him not making the All-Star roster for the Western Conference is totally ridiculous. Okay. But that's 31 double-doubles. And how did he do it? Yeah, 13 points, 14 rebounds, and 10 assists for the triple-double. He was 6 for 8 shooting from the field. He made 1 free throw. Collected 1 steal. 39 minutes. 39 minutes. Just pure Domantas Sabonis. Pure Domantas Sabonis. So it was a big night in Chicago. And I know Zach LaVine would have loved playing against him tonight because I remember when Domantas came over from Indiana in that trade for Tyrese Halliburton. He was the one, praising, how good of a skilled player that Domantas was and how strong he is. Okay, and that's why they call him Ox. All right, but hey, Domantas did his job tonight. Trey Lyles. I'm gonna talk about the bench too. Trey Lyles off the bench, 16 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals in 23 minutes. He hit his first 5 3-pointers beyond the arc tonight. His first 5. Now he ended up shooting 5 for 8 from the field, 5 for 7 in the 3-point line. He hit his one and only free throw. But the bench has played splendidly these last couple of days. And I will emphasize that total tonight in the win against the Bulls, 44 points. 44 points. There were 14 for 27 shooting from the field. 7 to 12 from 3-point land. 9 of 12 free throws as a unit, as a second unit, as a secondary unit. That's the bench. Okay, last night they had 39 points, and they were led by the leaders of that secondary, Malik Monk and Trey Lyles. Now, Davion Mitchell came in, he did his part in the little time that he had, mainly on defense. The other player that got off the bench was JaVale McGee, but he only played 6 or 7 minutes because, remember, DeMontis played 39 minutes tonight. And they needed him, to deal with Nikolai Vukovic. So the bench, yes, great job. Harrison Barnes, 11 points, 1 rebound, 1 steal in 35 minutes, 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Those 2 for 2, those 2 freebies, they helped seal the deal too, towards the end of the game. Matter of fact, they were the last bucket scored of the game to make it 123 to 115. So Harrison, great job. The Kings shot 50% from the floor tonight. They were 42 of 84. They shot 38% in 3-point territory, 15 of 39. Now they on a year they are been shooting 37% from 3-point territory. Okay, the Kings made 24 of 29 shots from the free throw line at 82%. I don't know the last time they shot in the 80s, but hey, thank goodness they did tonight. They had 33 assists, 12 steals as a team. They had 15 steals last night as a team, led by De'Aaron Fox, who had 6 steals last night. He had 5 tonight. Okay, I know I keep bringing this up, and I'm going to keep bringing it up anyway. Mike Brown and his coaching staff, they're not really big on these steals, but these steals been helping winning these games on the defensive end. I mean, you're getting deflections left and right. Okay, they're playing with they're playing a verticality game on the defensive end. Okay, all of this is helping out. Now they went crazy in the second half, letting the Bulls go on, that type of run. But the Bulls are a really good defensive team. If anything, I think they hold their teams around 113 points a game, and they don't score about 110 points a game or something like that. But they really are a good defensive team. They just they shoot horribly. They're not a really good shooting team. They missed a lot of stuff that could have helped them win. But hey, that's just how it goes. Okay. Kobe White led the Chicago Bulls with 26 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. He was 10 for 18 shooting from the field, 4 for 7 in 3-point territory in 36 minutes. He did a lot of damage. Now, DeMar DeRozan also had 24 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals in 38 minutes. He was 4 for 15 shooting from the free throw line. So most of his things that he was doing was getting in the paint and drawing fouls. That's his game. That's always been his game. And we already know DeMar is about 35, 36 years old, but he could still do it. Ayo Dosunmu. We've been talking about this for the last few games too. At least coaches around the league have been talking about it too. Okay, now of course I am aware of Ayo because he played at the University of Illinois, located in Champaign, Illinois. Thank you, Kyle Draper. He did mention Champaign, Illinois, on a 3-point basket that was made. Okay, but Champaign is south of Chicago. And anyway, thank you, Kyle. That was pretty cool. Io had 18 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals in 39 minutes. And what I'm getting at, he played 3 years at Illinois. Okay, I know he was attempting to leave the year before that, his sophomore year, because he was All-American. Okay, and he was one of the top freshmen in the country his first year, at Illinois. Okay, he has developed pretty well, if I might say. If I could be a little bit biased about him, but doesn't usually have a good game against the Sacramento Kings. I mean, De'Aaron has been putting it on him every time that they meet, whether it's in Sacramento or Chicago. Io been having issues with him, but tonight was one of his better games, and the 18 points definitely proved that. And he's definitely going to be playing. Io's definitely going to be playing a lot more with Zach LaVine out, and who knows whatever happened, with those trades, because they do have a lot of young players, and Io is one of them. But these players who stay in college for 3 or 4 years are being held at a premium right now because they do come in developed. Okay, they have a lot of time, a lot of minutes that they didn't spend on the court. Mainly when these players in their first or second year, unless you're a top lottery pick, you don't get that much time on the floor. Okay, Io, he was a second rounder. Should have been a first round. He plays like a low first round pick. Okay, and I like the way he has developed, because when I look at some of them, someone like him and Kuminga and all them, in Golden State, Moses Moody, and Jaime Jaquez down in Miami, all these cats who had some little time playing ball before they entered the league, and they came in and they were like 21, 22, have been asset to the teams that they play for. And Iowa was one of them. Keegan Murray. Okay, Keegan did 2 years at Iowa, but he played at a prep school his first year out of college. Then he went back home to Iowa. I think it was the prep school was in Florida. He and his twin brother I went to. So they really come in, develop, and they're really helping their teams win. So I'm liking that too. Okay, now it's not going to change when these scouts out here, they see these raw players 17, 18, 19 years old who can go in the first round. That's not going to change. Okay, but what we are learning right now at this point, Steve Kerr had brought it up to when the Kings played them a couple weeks ago, that these guys are valuable and they can do a lot of help, because he has one in Trace Jackson Davis himself out of Indiana. He spent 4 years in Indiana, second round pick, I think the 57 pick last season draft, 2023. But anyway, these guys been helping out a lot, and as I said, Fox basically did Io dirty again. He didn't have to hold him. He didn't have to guard him that much. Io didn't have to guard him that much, but that 41 points. He usually, like I said, De'Aaron Fox usually have good games against the Chicago Bulls. Matter of fact, he beat them on a 3-pointer, I believe, last season in Chicago. Was that in Sacramento? May have been in Sacramento, but yeah, it was one of those scenarios, one of those outcomes. So, hey. For all that is me, De'Aaron Fox. Yeah, good game tonight, though. Well, the Kings, I'm not going to really hold y'all all tonight and stuff. They do have one more game, the 7th game, the final game on this road trip. They did something that they never did before in the franchise by winning the 5th game, but now they can really blow it up, and I mean that in a positive way, by getting this win against the team, Cleveland, in Cleveland, Ohio. And some of the stuff that I had gathered on this team, Cleveland. Let's see, stuff like this. Oh yeah, here it is. Some of the things that I gathered on Cleveland, where they will be playing at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland, Ohio. The Cleveland Cavaliers as of tonight. I think they're playing a game tonight too. They're 30-16, and they are in fourth place in the Eastern Conference, and they are led by Donovan Mitchell. Now, he averages 28 points, 7-point assists, 5 rebounds a game, but he is also one of the leaders in train robberies, steals in the league too at 1.9. De'Aaron came in the game against the Chicago Bulls at 1.6, so he's been sitting around the 8th, 9th spot as far as steals at 1.6. But as I can see right here, Donovan, he's a different type of animal. He's at 1.9. So that means this guy likes to play defense and he likes to steal the ball. So that's who they'll have Monday, February the 5th, in Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland Cavaliers. And I think they had a couple injuries too with some players. So we'll see how that goes in the next couple of days and see where we are on that. I usually try to stay on top of that right now as far as those injury reports. But great win tonight, Sacramento Kings. Great win tonight. You beat the Bulls. And if I have to say it again myself, and I do like to say again and again and again and again, great win. Great win. You really are turning the corner. You're heading on down the street. Let's see if you can get down the highway. The way I see it, you're 10 games over 500. Let's go all the way. I think you're back in that area right now where you could probably hit 50 wins. Seriously. Seriously. But one game at a time. One game at a time. And I also want to mention JaVale McGee. He played his 900 game tonight. Kind of not weird, but not odd either. But it is definitely significant that he would do that in Chicago because his dad is from Chicago, George Montgomery, and George played for the University of Illinois in the 1980s. His mom, Pam McGee, she's from Detroit. She played at USC. She and her twin sister. And of course, we all know about Pam McGee's background. She was one of the inaugural members of the Sacramento Monarchs of the WNBA. JaVale, he went to school in Chicago 1 or 2 years. I think a prep school. I'm not sure like that, but he did have some little time in Chicago, though he was born in Detroit. But yeah, he played his 900 game tonight. I think that's pretty cool for somebody who's been in the league ever since, I believe, 2006, 2007, when he came into the league. 900 games that he's been doing his part. He's been doing his part. He's been doing his part for the Kings too. I don't care what nobody says. Okay, yeah, he be play out a little bit out of alignment sometimes, stuff like that. But hey, if he can come in there and rest DeMontis for 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13 minutes, that is basically all you can help for. Okay, Alex Len is going to get his playing time at some point. He will be back out there at some point. Okay, and I know they have a plan for Alex Len, and I'm talking about Mike Brown and his coaching staff. Okay, there you have it. Sacramento Kings win 123-115 over the Chicago Bulls. They will be in Cleveland, Ohio on Monday, February the 5th, to take on the team that is currently in fourth place in the Eastern Conference. I do want to thank y'all for coming in. Please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. I will be back after that game. I love you all. Okay. Love, peace, and solidarity.